This is what's happening in this game right now, guys. For those who don't know, this is a seagull tapping its feet onto the ground. Do you know what this does? It kind of makes the worms think that there's rain happening, and the worms burrow up out of the ground, allowing the seagulls to eat them, and that's what's happening here, man. You know, I actually thought I missed the AT. I thought it was an hour earlier, and I was like, oh, could not wake up. I'm unfortunately, I'm a little bit under the weather, guys, but that's okay. That is okay. We will still be able to game. I have actually been tipped off, by the way, that there's a lot of good teams in this monthly. So that's the good news. Anyway, let's get down to it. Oh, this actually might be an interesting game first. So let's see, we actually have Sugar Crush, Slugui here. Chloe, that will be a good team as well, actually. Krog versus Z Squadron is quite powerful. And then we probably have... Wait, I mean, it's hard to actually know, like, which teams are which here. Do we have any... Where are the Frenchies at? I don't know what account name the French are in as. 55, obviously, there as well. Ooh, now, actually, this is a pretty juicy team, actually. Yeah, it's Notamelon, Demolish, Dra, Yui, and Zintrex logged in. Emperor Dra here on the Revenant. We have Krog, Stunk, Destfire, Chocolate, and Caspi. This actually should be I think this should be a decent match. So we might go ahead and take a look at this one. Get time warped. Only one French team? Well, I mean, who knows? Yeah, this is, I think this is some Frenchies. 55, obviously, there as well. We have French content all over the place. Yeah, this could also be a pretty interesting game here. We have Team Sugar Crush. Maya, Floor. Wait, this is not actually Oki. This is an impersonator. Lisa and Erazik. Let's see. I think this is also going to be a somewhat interesting game. I think Red Team's pretty favored. I think Red Team's pretty favored in this one, though, actually. So this one might not be quite as exciting. It might be time to return to the other match. I think this game is going to be pretty good. All right, let's see what we got. Red Team falls down the hole, gets time warped. Blue Team now pushing in as well. Red being fairly conservative back here. Push coming through from Blue, sending the Revenant in. We do have the Firebrand actually in play. And bear in mind, this build has actually been buffed a lot, and the other supports have been nerfed. So it's going to be very interesting to actually see how this build ends up performing. The choice is going to be Rune of the Druid with Avatar, Amulet, and Relic of the Flock. So full healing on basically all of the kind of selectable stuff there. And with Honor, Valor, and Firebrand. So Force of Will, Pure of Heart, and Invigorated Bulwark for big, big heals. Essentially, Sword for a bit of mobility there. The Shield, obviously, for that defensive potential. And then Valor with Smiter's Boon. Redemption, actually. Lesser Litany of Wrath when you activate Virtue 3. Guess for a little bit of a self-sustain, because, of course, that is going to activate Monk's Fury as well, right? So, you know, you activate Virtue Skill 3, and that's going to be a little bit of a heal, bit of AoE Fury and Resolution. And then, of course, Might of the Protector as well there, so a bunch of might on this build. And then in Firebrand, Archivist of Whispers, Weighty Terms, and Lawmaster. He is the master of lore, guys. And they have Merciful Intervention, of course, synergizing with Monk's Focus. And also gives him not only self-sustain, but also some mobility and the ability to kind of slightly revive people and teleport onto them. Let's see how this one goes. But yeah, so far, Blue Team actually doing pretty well here. But they do end up losing a player. The Revenant has been kind of peeled off here at this stage. Harbinger from Red now pushing in, going to face Dra on the Soul Beast, actually. Oh no, is this the Condi Soul Beast build? It absolutely is. This build, this is not a pretty build, guys, okay? This is, you do not like to see this. Very, very disgusting. In fact, a lot of condition burst there, because of course you have a massive amount of damage coming out from the short bow. And connect onto the opponents.
Red team wins a capture point.
Blue Team doing a good job in this team fight, and the Firebrand does appear to be holding pretty firm, at least for the time being. Does have that very strong boon access, right? And now that you have a significantly reduced recharge on essentially the tome skills going from, from red to blue again. There's a lot of just kind of like free activations there. Although he's not running virtues. So, like, this build is not particularly gaining value out of that, to be honest. Delete Untamed when this exists. Dude, Spin is he's not happy. He's not happy with this. He is mentally destroyed. He is mentally crumbled by the state of Guild Wars 2 ranked PvP. Dra has now been eliminated over here. The Willbender able to pick up that kill. Will end up getting a little bit of control over that node. But blue team doing a very good job in these team fights so far. They do have the second support as well. The Chronomancer here from the blue team. So in the team fights, they're going to be very, very solid. Of course, it is a double support setup for the red team as well. So they're going with, instead of the Firebrand, they have a Tempest. So Tempest Chrono versus Firebrand Chrono. Pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, so far, blue team, I think definitely outperforming in the team fights, which is very important on this map. This is a smaller map, so you do want to be able to win these fights consistently, especially now with the hammer coming up. We basically have like two massive team fight central spots here on the map, right next to each other even. Dra shoving away the Willbender. It's going to be a bit too much Condi pressure for this Willbender to contend with. I think probably Estender is giving this up. I don't think he can face the B. He does go in to try and contest. This is a very, very ballsy move. And yeah, ends up dying now. That was never really going to go that well. Is there any way that the red team is going to be able to make it over here in order to continue to contest? They actually are. The Harbinger does make it, but not in time to actually save this Guardian. Now, the Harbinger can definitely hold its own in these 1v1 scenarios. Very sustainy build, for sure. Now they're going to try and turn it around to Dra, and ooh, they do get a big burst onto him. Of course, the Elite Elixir is still available here. Is it going to be used? Blue team nearly have the cap on this. Red need to continue to contest it. Support Chrono is now in the mix as well. That's going to be a little bit spooky. The Tempest from Red is matching that. So this might be a very, very slow 2v2. There's not much that can really happen here, I think. Not enough damage to get kills, especially now with the Firebrand from Blue also moving in. And yeah, Red team, I think, just not able to get these kills. They don't have enough damage to kind of punch through all of this support and sustain coming through from Red. They're going to have to try and make something happen here if they want to proceed. Incredible. Okay. Meanwhile, Chrono running away, being supported up by the Firebrand. Actually, Continuum Shift loses all of the healing the Firebrand just gave there. Hate to see that. What a classic. Dra continuing his epic 1v1 here on the hammer. Probably going to be a fairly slow matchup. Both of these builds very, very tanky. Quite hard to take down. Dra actually having a little bit of trouble here. That's a little bit unsurprising, I think. This Harbinger build just has so much sustain. Handles conditions pretty well, too, to be honest. And yeah, that is going to be a kill now secured. However, will the revive be available? It's not going to happen, I think, with the Willbender moving in. So there's maybe a little bit of hope for the red team here. Both of the supports are now in the mix. They're going to be quite vulnerable that there's no damage dealers to actually buffer for the supports currently. So they aren't going to be able to directly hold it. And red team really committing to this. They're going to go for it and try and force the issue to get this objective off the map. But they're very far behind now. 200 points behind. So they need to have a very decisive victory into then controlling a large amount of the map if they want to recover in this game. Let's see if they're going to go ahead and do that, just that. Blue team feeling confident to hold here, I think. Although maybe that confidence was perhaps a little bit unwarranted. We do see both of the healers for blue team end up falling here. Firebrand and Chrono eliminated from the map. And yeah, that's going to be another kill there. So a little bit of a miscalculation, I think. Well, a little bit. I'd say a fairly major miscalculation by the blue team. They were very confident in that hold, but they were not quite able to do it, unfortunately. However, Zintrax and Dra are still on the map, so they will be able to kind of maintain control. And that is the issue here with the red team. They don't seem to quite have their ducks in a row when it comes to rotations. And yeah, they don't have that map control. They have been able to neutralize the map, of course, utilizing the Skyhammer, but are they going to get anything from that big win? It's honestly not looking like they are. We do get 2 caps here, but they haven't really got a lot of point gain yet. And they need to make sure that they're not just going to immediately yield the map, and that's kind of what's happening. As immediately we have this Revenant who's able to decapture middle, and then is going to go to point C completely uncontested. So I think Blue, despite having a bit of a, kind of a bit of a setback, they've kind of outmaneuvered their opponents here, to be honest. Yeah, Yui is going to go down here again, because they are outnumbered, so this is going to be a very difficult fight for Blue no matter what. Kind of a repeat of what we saw on the Skyhammer almost. One support still alive. A lot of good kiting potential here, though, so I think Demolish should be pretty okay here. Although, having said that, maybe not. A lot of damage now coming through. Wasn't able to quite get the jump up there, and now can't go there because, of course, there's a player waiting for him. Does end up going down, so Zintrax's going to have to try and do a little bit of a hold here. I think he won't die. I don't think they can actually kill this warrior. Yeah, they're not even going to try. There is a portal available, just in case. But it's not actually going to end up being used. And here we have it.
Blue team takes a capture point.
The Revenant also dead. This is a very weird game. It's one of those classics, guys. Like, you do need to actually play the map, because like Blue team have basically been getting destroyed the past 3 minutes of this game. But it doesn't matter, because Red team they're kind of playing more of a world versus world style experience, right? Like the Red team going for the GVG here. You know what I'm saying, guys? They're kind of running around as a big blob killing things, but unfortunately that doesn't really work in PvP, and you can see that the Blue team, even though they lose another player here, it doesn't really matter, right? They're just standing on the nodes and capturing the nodes and winning the game. Bit of a classic Guild Wars 2 PvP situation. And yeah, this game is it's very over, actually. Let's go see what the other teams are up to. Let's see what's going on. Oh, in fact, most of the games have actually kind of finished. Let's see what this team is. Yeah, I believe we do, in fact, have a French scenario here on the Blue team. Zeolith, Skitto, Nana, Vague, also known as Vague 1v9, and generic player here as well on the Reaper. So it's Tempest, Mirage, Renegade. That is the French special right there, guys. The Spear and Sword Shield, kind of similar to the Herald build, except it's Renegade instead. We have Vague on Herald, which again is kind of, a little bit similar to that Renegade build to an extent. Using Retribution. Oh, wow. This really takes me back, actually. Because back in the day, guys, you had two builds you could play, right? You always played Devastation. Or rather, you always played, yeah, you could either play Devastation or Retribution, right, on Rev. And you could go for one that gave you more damage, one that gave you, lots of tankiness. But, of course, these days, like, a lot of these defensive trait lines kind of give you DPS as well. So Retribution is going to be giving a lot of kind of damage reduction kind of thrown into this, even a bit of extra dodges too. You've got the Vigor here, the Endurance Recovery here in this trait line, but you've also got some solid damage output, gaining a bunch of extra might here, having some extra damage while you have Resolution, and of course, you have this damage reduction while you have Resolution there as well. So very tanky build that also can still bring some DPS to the table in these encounters. But yeah, just seeing the Retribution trait line on a Power Herald build, it's, yes, I remember the days, guys. It takes me back, that's, look, CMC, he wants to bring back Dagger Ellie, and I guess they've also brought back the old Power Herald builds at this stage. Yeah, obviously a pretty straightforward game here for Blue. This is definitely one of the stronger teams in the tournament, of course. We'll see what they do later on, I guess. It's going to be very exciting. Incredible. Vague, aka the best player in Guild Wars 2 history. Why do you make an achievement hunting series in Guild Wars 2 where you get the maximum achievement points? I'm not really much of an achievement hunter gamer. The problem I have with achievements is that a lot of the time they aren't achievements. They're more like a list of chores that you do. Like I've never really been a big fan of those. A lot of them aren't. A lot of them aren't really gameplay. They're just like. They're worse than doing chores in real life most of the time. So it's like, what? If I had a choice between like doing achievements in a video game or, I don't know, like cleaning the house or taking out the trash, they're basically the same thing, except one of them is real and actually has like real world benefits to me, obviously. But the other one has no benefits whatsoever and is actually less enjoyable. So that's the rationale there.
Just like that, Blue team takes a capture point.
Okay, here we go. Red team actually in a fight for their lives against Blue. Crafty K, Zix Kurzix, Me Rev, Misty Lemon, and 1 HP decap anyway. Oh wait, yeah, he's look. I mean, It's Freyol. Can Freyol once again carry the team to victory? We saw this in the last monthly AT, I believe. This Elementalist player 1v9ing, essentially, on the support Tempest. Is it going to pay off again? The decaps are going through. We've got 2 minutes on the clock, so blue team have got to make something happen pretty soon. We do see a kill. This is a potential comeback here. I like what the Guardian's doing here as well, going for that middle node. Oh, but has to now go for the hammer as the Catalyst is going to have to go for an escape, I think. Tries to wriggle away. Willbender now moves in. Oh no, but the Tempest from blue does go down to over. This means Mirev is going to have to go for a desperation kind of hold. Has that glint heal. Do we have any other defensive tools available here for this Revenant to hold on in this desperate 1v2? I'm not sure if it's realistic. We have no shield 5 available here. It does die on the node, but I think blue team is kind of crumbling here. This will be captured for red. Could there be a hammer victory maybe somehow? And then that could like neutralize this and allow blue team to gain some points. See what's about to happen. Crafty K, though, is very, very low on cooldowns. Has F3 up in a couple of seconds, but it's not enough. There's no support here for blue either. That is a really big problem. Unfortunately, for the blue team, they are not going to be able to handle this team fight. We do have the revival here, but yeah, I think the Revenant kind of knows that there's not really much of a winning situation available here for the blue team. Misty Lemon going in, trying to hold on the Hammer Catalyst, but it's simply not going to happen. That is the end of that. Mirev. And that is that. Mirev escapes. Incredible.
Did you see that?
Red team wins.
Got a capture point.
It was a close one, though, actually. I think blue team almost managed the comeback, but
Did you see that?
not quite,
Red
I'm
team
afraid.
got a capture point.
Some tournament? Yes, that's exactly what I'm spectating. Huge. GG's. Great game, guys. You know, it's very easy to say GG when you win a close game. Definitely feels pretty bad for blue, though. And that is the end of that. Well, I don't really mind gameplay grinds, to be honest, but I don't like just, you know, running around, press F, like achievement style stuff, because achievements that are actual achievements, like you have to do something difficult, I'm fine with, but achievements that are just, and that's how most achievements are in modern games, is like you just run around doing trivial things. I just find it like complete brain rot. Like stuff like, you know, good achievements are stuff like Guild Wars 1 achievements, right, for God Walking Amongst Mere Mortals, because they're very gameplay oriented. They're actually high tier. But, like, just modern game achievements, they're brain rot. I'm sorry, guys. They are pure brain rot. Mersat tokens? Well, I mean, most of Aurora was good. I will admit that the Mersat tokens did wear on me a little bit. But I actually think Aurora was pretty gameplay oriented, so that's why I actually rather liked it. Because it was, yeah, exactly that. It was pretty gameplay oriented, right? Like you go around and you actually have to do stuff, right? You've got to go do the hearts. You've got to go find a champion to kill, right? Like this is gameplay, right? This is like actual gameplay. This is good design. I actually thought Vision was much weaker on this because Vision, you know, it's funny. Vision. This is why game devs shouldn't listen to players. There's a video on this, guys. I actually think that being too receptive to feedback as a game dev is really bad. And you can see that with New World, actually. Like, New World was basically ruined because they were way too receptive to feedback. But yeah, they basically made Vision way less gameplay oriented because people complained that Aurora was too much gameplay and it took too long to do. And that was a mistake. And as a result of that, Vision is much worse than Aurora in terms of like the role-playing game experience and just the gameplay. It's much worse because people complained about it and then ArenaNet made it worse. But I actually don't blame ArenaNet actually for making it worse because players asked for it to be worse. So I actually don't really put the blame on ArenaNet. Like, it was very much self-inflicted by the player base. The player base very specifically said, please make this worse next time around. So, yeah. Elaborate on the award thing. They removed stagger because people weren't good enough, and they refused to learn how the stagger mechanic worked. It was too difficult, so they nerfed it. They moved away from being a PvP focused game because people said, we hate PvP, remove it, etc., etc., etc. Starting on RLCM. I'm not doing a LCM. I have never done a LCM. Yeah. Huge. Yes. You love to see it. Opt-out PvP, yeah. Opt-out PvP, guys, it's just not the way. All right, let's see what 55 is playing. Okay, never mind. I cannot. The game doesn't exist. Oh, wait, what happened here? Z Squadron? What's going on here? Chloe versus Sugar. Actually, that actually might be an interesting game. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, here we go. It's Maya, it's Floor, it's Cookie Queen. It's Lisa. It's Erozik. Facing another powerful team here. Of course, it's Chloe, it's Alex, Sakaya, Man X, and Pookie. Hound. Hound is here, the dog. On the blue team on the Spectre. Very thief-filled game. Relatively uncommon these days. We actually have a double thief situation here for blue versus one thief from the red team. So double Spectre. So blue going to be very, very fast. Oh, yes. DH Man X is the name here. I can, yeah, look. Guys, you've got to forgive me. I'm a little bit ill today. I'm a little slow. I'm mentally drained, guys. Okay, and I've got the slow condition. I've got the slow and poison debuff. And even worse, I've been playing Guild Wars 1, so I've got disease too. I've got pretty much all of it. Anyway, the Soul Beast is here. You know, this build, guys, I'm just going to say it. This build is an abomination, right? In Trig, I trust to delete this build from the game. If you run into this build in Ranked, guys, you're not going to enjoy it, let me tell you that. It's not fun. Beast Mastery, Wooden Survival, and Soul Beast. Giga Condi with the Dagger so it can burst a crazy amount of poison stacks onto you incredibly, incredibly quickly. You can see here that this ability on its own can be 5 poison stacks. And of course, the poison stacks do extra damage thanks to the Poison Master ability here. Very, very nasty build. Very tanky. It's, you know, pretty mobile as well. Can also just own you in these 1v1s. Yeah, and it has the bee. The lethal bee. Jan Theory bee. So far, blue team doing a good job. I think they're really playing to the strengths here. And you can see what they're going for, right? Like, we have Catalyst, Dagger, very tanky, durable build, can kite, can survive outnumbered, can disengage very well. Kind of a similar thing here with the Soul Beast. And the DH too, right? Like, the DH is ultimately, it's a very tanky build, right? Like, this, I don't think I'd call this a bunker build as such, but it's the relic of the defender, right? We have the block, we've got the defensive capacity here. You know, the Aegis trap being used at the same time. So it's a tanky build. We almost have like a triple side noder situation, and then you've got the 2 thieves that rotate between it. So a very different approach to a lot of the usual teams. Now, the problem that they might run into is there's not a lot of team fight going on here, but on the other hand, it's almost fairly similar from Red as well. This is something that we have seen very consistently from Team Sugar Crush. They don't lean into the usual support comp that we've seen a lot of teams go for. You know, they actually have 0 supports essentially here. You could argue the Spectre is half the support. It does have that healing and barrier capacity, but everything else here, it's basically kind of a damage dealer, more or less the double Soul Beast in play there, then the Renegade and the Herald. So pretty, it's like a bruiser style comp, right? Like these are all bruisers really. And then you have the Thief that kind of rotates around and just finds opportunities for kills. It's a very different approach, but it has worked out very, very well. Of course, Team Sugar Crush has performed extremely well in these monthly ATs over the last couple of months actually, like, and has absolutely been capable of defeating teams that are running the, you know, the quote unquote meta compositions. So it's going to be very interesting to see like what their newest offering is going to provide to the table in this tournament. Now, they have now got that double cap there, and how is the objective going for them? I think it's not going super well, to be honest. Like there is not a lot of damage on red team right now, really, because like they don't have like these mega DPS deals like a Willbender, for example, being brought into this. We do have a very nice condition spike coming from the Spectre and the Untamed, but the other Spectre on the blue team able to kind of wriggle away here pretty effectively. Yeah, there's not that big knockout punch from red, so you can see that there's a little bit of difficulty in trying to actually get these kills. Of course, it's not exactly helped by the fact that blue team is pretty tanky. We do actually see the assassination on the thief, but the revive is big. The poison application is really denying that revive, but do they actually have the cleave to make this happen? I don't think they do. Yeah, the counter cleave from the catalyst, and of course the extra pair of hands to get that revive is going to get this player back on their feet. But red team do still have a bit of an advantage. But if Maya goes down here, things can get a little bit scary. Juno, the Renegade, also fell over here on middle. That's going to force Erozik to disengage away from this. Maybe look towards the bell at this stage too. And yeah, red team do actually take a couple of losses here. Going into the downside, yeah, Floor going to go down too. Florin Hood, I mean, that barely works. Erozik now kind of left standing alone. Oh, actually, I wonder if there's a weird revive that could happen here with the pet, because there's not a lot of damage here. Yeah, he's going to go for it. And that actually might enable this revival to come through. Oh, and there's an additional blue player. That should be able to deny this. Although, hang on a minute. Is it going to deny this? Surely it does. Yeah, it does. Just barely, actually. That was a bit of a close call there from the blue team. Almost let that revive go through. Would have been a little bit on the awkward side. Okay. Oki now backing off here. Well, it's not Oki. It's fake Oki. Should be illegal to... It should be illegal, guys, to have a character name that makes you look like someone else. Okay, can we ban that? We've got to ban that, especially now. It's going to be hard for me to keep up. Anyway, gaming is happening, and yeah, blue team obviously taking a decisive advantage in this match after getting some really big wins over the last couple of minutes. Bell still being fought over. In fact, that's the second bell now spawning, essentially. And the big question is going to be who's going to actually end up winning this. It's not entirely impossible that it goes on for a very, very long time. I think red team is really kind of starting to focus on it, that they want to bring a lot of their players over here. They do have the double Revenant, and that should give them the edge. I think in these fights, they do have that big power damage that should allow them to, you know, if the fights get really, really big, I think that's where the, you know, the Renegade and the Herald can bring some serious value into securing these kills. But it's going to be easier said than done. This Dragon Hunter acting as a bit of a roadblock here. Renewed Focus still available. That will be another rounds of blocks, and still Fragments of Faith as well. So I don't really see there's any real potential to get a kill there. Oh, but hold on. Giga Condi is now being applied onto the DH. The Renegade is doing just fine, at least for the time being. Maya now moving in to attempt to assist here and look for a kill. And red team getting some control back of the map. A couple of skirmishes going around. Oh, DH Man X in trouble, actually. Gets CC'd, can't get the renewed focus. The pulsing CC from the Renegade, very powerful, denying any potential invulnerabilities, but we do actually have a downside there. Is that going to be a rally? I'm not sure if this player actually hit the DH. So I think that might not actually be a thing, but oh no! It would have been a rally, actually, as it happens the other way around as the DH. Wait, I think there was a little bit of miscommunication there, I think. As we did not see that finish come through from the Renegade, unfortunately. And that completely snowballs the fight and ends it, in fact, in favor of blue. A completely disastrous turn of events here for red, losing a huge amount of players. GM Awakened Golem hiding, peeking out from behind the red team over there. Blue team now find themselves in a pretty good position. Winning that first spell is very good. That's going to make it much more punishing if they're able to actually obtain the next one, which will be coming up in a minute. Okay. Very interesting. Now blue continuing to pump. Here we go. Let's see what they can do. Bell's going to be coming up. If blue team get that bell, I'm pretty sure they're going to win the game outright. So red, they want to be entering this next bell with a lot of momentum. So if they can find a kill in about the next 10 seconds, I think they're going to be very happy. Let's see if they're going to be capable of doing that. Middle going to get captured here. Bit of a 2v2 going on over here. Renegade and, of course, the Spectre. Should be pretty fine here, I think, for both teams, realistically. This DH, dude, look, DH is just being a problem. You know, it is a very annoying to deal with here. Very durable build, just surviving. Red not able to get middle either, and the Bell's coming up. No kills scored for Red. So again, we might find ourselves in a similar situation where Blue is able to very slowly win the Bell. They're now 40 points ahead too, which in a game that's pretty slow, and where the margins are this tight, 40 points, that's kind of a lot, right? That's not nothing, especially as we now see a kill being secured on the Red Soul Beast, and maybe even onto Erazik as well. The Herald does get his glint heal off, so he is okay for the next couple of seconds. Does he have any more defensive control? But the poison, dude, the Condis keep ticking, and he ticks. Wow, that actually might be kind of the end of the game, but hold on, actually. Is the Thief going to get the Bell for free? Can the Blue Thief make it in time? Maybe. Yeah, gets the double port. Good moves here by Sakaya. He's able to make it into the mix. Probably is going to want a bit of reinforcement, though, because, of course, it's very difficult to stand on the point and hold it when it's this close to being capped. That's going to give a pretty big combat advantage towards the Red Thief, of course. Because, of course, the Red Thief has a little bit more leeway to not go into, to go into stealth or to step off the point, whereas that's not going to be the case if it's Sakai. He's going to have to kind of just, take this fight raw, uncooked. Does get some assistance now from the other Thief moving in. Of course, Maya has to port back in, and now it's going to be Red Team that needs this reinforcement, and Blue Team looking to pick up this Bell. Now, yeah, Maya does not have the HP to actually go onto that point right now. Has a little bit of Shroud, but is very low after that runs out. And Blue now starting to take control of this Bell. Cooldown's not looking great for Red Spectre here. And yeah, we need some reinforcements here from Red. It's going to be the Soul Beast moving in, but Blue get the Bell. It's a little bit too late, unfortunately. The rotations were not quite there. The double Thief gets the outmaneuver. I think that's kind of the game. That's the end of the game. I'm not sure if there's any way that Red Team can recover at this stage, unfortunately. Yeah, now Red Thief from Maya going to go down. Blue Team standing firm here. One respawn coming through from floor, but again, there's going to be a kill secured, and that's the 15-second death timer. It's going to be a little bit too long, I think, to get any kind of meaningful recovery here. You really hate to see that. Well, if you're Red, Blue love to see it. Blue absolutely loves to see it, guys. They really do. And that's that. Game over. Blue kind of just finishing up the game at this stage. It's a little bit of a formality at this point. They're very much at the stage where they can simply stand on the node and the game is going to end. We see that here from the Catalyst, of course. Be more than capable of sustaining until the end of the game, and similarly over here, it does actually get decapped by the Red Team, but I don't think that's particularly important at this point. Like, Red Team going to go for a desperate attempt at a comeback, actually getting a massive Condi burst, a devastating condition burst with the Immobilize onto this Catalyst, but again, Blue Team can just funnel back in here over and over again, and just like, as long as they have one node, they're going to win this game. We have a 3v1 onto the Renegade here from Blue. The Bell is up. Of course, the Bell just ends the game in favor of Blue if they're able to capture that. I don't think Blue even particularly care. I think the Bell is just a bit of a lose-lose situation here for Red. If they give it up, they lose. If they go for it, they're going to spread themselves thin, and Blue Team simply run around capturing the nodes and just outright winning the game off that. However, hold on, have we spoken too soon? Intrigue, I trust, has gone down. Bell will now be free without an outnumber for the Blue Team. However, they can't have a single death, and unfortunately that is going to be that death, yeah. Thief going to go for the stomp, boom, that's it, and now it really is unwinnable. I think, anyway. That is the end of that. What's going on in the other games? Do we have any other spicy games? Hold, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh dear. Guys, this is actually a situation here. We actually have Syndra, Abindo, Draza, Boyce, and Misha currently going down to the French. We have Goku, Raikön, Kill, Glint, and whatever the fuck this is, okay? Pappy Bongo Big Diddy Dong. It's actually going to be the Revenant here on Blue. 55, desperately attempting this comeback. Blue Team holding on to middle. 55, maybe about to lose in the first round of this AT. Reality crumbles indeed. Syndra here on the Daredevil. Can they actually punch through this? However, Red Team do actually have the signers. If 55 can get this decap, then maybe there's some hope. They've got 4 minutes left on the clock. They've got to get this decap, though. But it's actually not going to happen, though, as Draza is going to be the one to actually end up dying here. Boy's attempting to defend the Bell here from the Renegade. This is a French scenario, guys. Look, I'm sorry, if you have 3 French on Renegade, you cannot win the game. We've seen it before. How many times have we seen this, guys? 3 French on Rev, it is not winnable. This is their true power. And that's it. 55 actually lose the game, 365 to 503. GM awakened Golem here to see it happen. 55 were actually ahead, but when the bell came through, the French Revenants were too much. That's incredible stuff. We actually still have this game going on. Is there an insane comeback happening? No. Well, kind of, to be honest. Kind of an insane comeback. But not quite insane enough.
Did you see that? Red team got a capture
It's
point.
French domination, guys. It is absolute French domination. We love to see that. Incredible. Wow. Well, I mean, that makes this tournament look very exciting. Of course, it is only Swiss. Seeing 55 lose this early is very uncommon indeed. It's the Z Squadron up against the French coming up very soon. Are there any other interesting matches? I think that's kind of this is the big one here. All the others are pretty straightforward. Unleash Abindo? Look, he's already unleashed. They're going to have to unleash even further. It's the only way. $55 down. Zealot 1v9 in the chat. Incredible. Is the Zealot team called Team 1v9? That's what I want to know about. Because, of course, they have Vague 1v9. Vague 1v9. And, of course, Zealot 1v9 as well. Wait, why is exclamation mark Motor 3 not working? Is it just exclamation mark Motor? It might actually not be Motor 3. I might have to update the stream title. Ah, yeah, there we go. That's where it is.
My crew is on the verge of a breakthrough.
There you have it. Raikkonen is also called 1v9, but he's not part of the team. Interesting. He's not part of the official team. But he's still 1v9 every game. Battle of Kylo. It's over 55. Rank 55 would lose to bronze players on Battle of Kylo. It is the cursed map. Buff smoke scale. Look. Honestly, we are going to have to call Boyce out here. Boyce did make a big mistake. So, here's the issue, guys. Like, Boyce was farming people with his Ranger, so they balanced the game around Boyce, and they deleted Ranger from the game. It's a big mistake, guys. You do not want to do that. You have to sandbag. Like, you guys need to learn. Guild Wars 2 players, I understand it. Like, you know, this is a dead game. It's a dead game, right? Some people don't know the tricks from more modern, popular games. But this is very, very important, guys. If you main a class, Boyce, obviously Ranger, Enjoyer, you have to sandbag, right? You need to sandbag. Make sure your class does not get nerfed, guys. You only play the good version of the build in tournaments, usually in finals even. You never in ranked. Never play it in ranked, guys. Always sandbag. If you don't do it, your class will get nerfed, and it's over. It's completely over for you. Yeah, obviously, this game, very straightforward, 55. Hungry for revenge, are going to tear through their opponents until we get to the elimination rounds, I imagine. That's the way it is. Okay. What else is going on over here? Do we have any other interesting games?
Did you see that? Red team got
Oh, yeah, well... Yeah, I think this is going to be a bit rough for blue, but there's maybe something going on here. DH Man X, ready to go.
just like that. Blue team takes a
Ready to
capture
pump.
point.
HP bars like that for PvE? Yes, it's called large HP bars. It's a setting that's been in the game for many years now. Feels good, man. Boys gets his current main nerfed, so he has reasons to dominate other classes. Is Guild Wars 2 a dead game? Guild Wars 2, no. Guild Wars 2 PvP, yes. Okay. Let's continue. I kind of want to see this game. Very nice. And the red team. Honestly, let's examine what we have here. We have GS Bo, Goku. Here in the red team. Strength, tactics, defense, core warrior. Not quite GS Bo. It's longbow with axe warhorn. And there's going to be a lot of tankiness on this, right? Yeah, because you can see it from the tactics trait line. You get a lot of sustain here. Combine that with defense. You've got a bit of a monster. Vigorous shouts, of course, and mending might. Mega sustain on this build. And of course, you have the adrenal health setup over here as well. Resistance, hardened armor for that damage reduction. Cleansing ire for mega condi cleanse on this build. It's going to be a bit of a monster. Not sure how much damage it can really bring to the table, but it certainly will live. You know, it's not going to die, that's for sure. Rampage might bring a little bit of a punch, but it does have that slow pressure, right? You can see it is slowly chipping away at this player. In fact, maybe not even slowly. Dra goes down. That's that Soul Beast dealt with in a clean 1v1. Absolutely annihilated there. And all of a sudden, French are looking dangerous. Okay, Riken 1v9, Kill 1v9, Glint 1v9. Bing Dong Africa 1v9.
Red team got a capture point.
On the Revenant here. Goku continuing to game. Infinite evades. Ah, yes. It gives itself loads of dodges back, doesn't it? Yeah, because you have Might Makes Right. So you not only do you heal from Mending Might, you also give yourself endurance. So he's like spamming dodges. Oh, yeah. And, of course, to the limit. Gives you your endurance back as well. Crazy. And of course, Relic of Rivers too. So you have the Alacrity uptime. Yeah, this build seems incredibly obnoxious, not gonna lie. This seems like one of those builds that, once again, the French have discovered that honestly maybe should have been left kind of unfound within the bowels of Guild Wars 2 theory crafting. We do actually have the blue team able to find a kill, so it's not going to be a 0-pointer for blue at the very least. But it's certainly looking very, very rough. And, you know, it's weird. I almost feel like this comp here on red is going to be super annoying for the double support comp, right? Because how on earth are they going to kill Goku? Seriously, how do they kill Goku? Think about this, guys. What on the red team, on the blue team, can kill Goku? I'm not sure if much can. Because Goku's just going to be sitting on this point, spamming dodges, spamming healing on himself. Like, how do they kill him? I'm not sure if they can. And you could almost say similar thing for a lot of these other classes. We've got the double rev coming through here. They've got high mobility. They're very fast. They've got good sustain. They've got good damage. They don't really have much to answer that. Like, they, of course, have their own Herald, who is going to be capable of chasing them down a little bit with that face reversal. But look how slow they are. They're just so slow. Like, the warrior, you're not killing shit with. I hate to say it, guys. I mean, Zindrex is a very good warrior, but he can't kill things. Right? You know, he's on staff spear. Right? Like, he's not going to have that explosive power to break through a lot of these builds. The supports aren't going to kill anything. I think what you'd go with, I think Demolish should go DPS. Keep the chrono, because of course it's very fast, right? And then you've got the super speed, you've got the offensive enabling there, you've got time warp. And it's been nerfed, actually, to be fair, right? Very significantly nerfed. But maybe you keep the chrono, and then drop the firebrand, because I just think they don't have enough damage right now to ever fight this. Like, I don't think, in fact, honestly, both of these supports are going to be sitting around, like, twiddling their thumbs for a lot of this game, really. Because they're just not going to be doing anything. They're going to be constantly chasing after people with nothing to really do. Yeah, GS Bo is here. Esprit in the chat, of course. Worm's leader, a.k.a. the Big Worm, a.k.a. the Band Worm. Alongside Azaz, also the Band Worm. It's Bunker Meta, guys. French Bunker Meta is here. Exclamation mark Worms. Look, triple rev, man. Triple rev, and you cannot defeat the worms. They cannot be beaten. This Herald looking for a kill here onto Dra. It's going to happen, I think. Good portal there from Blue Chrono. Saves the day. But it's not going to be enough, I think. Ooh, the support's good, but it's not good enough. That's going to be Dra falling over. Of course, now the Chrono in a little bit of hot water. Has the blink, though. And Blue Team have got middle, and the thing is, they can do this. Like and this is going to be how this game is going to look. Is that Blue are going to be more than capable of holding one node, but of course that's not good enough to win the game. Like they're going to really struggle, I think, to control more than one node for any amount of time in this game, because there's just a little bit too much sustain on these 1v1ers, right? Like the Revs are too hard to kill. The Warrior is basically impossible to kill for them. The Renegade is going to be a challenge as well, I think. Like, you know, there's like 4 things that are very hard to kill for Blue. And it's not that they don't do any damage. You can see that. Like, when they get an outnumber, when they have that maneuverability, they're able to find a kill on the Chrono that you can see there, right? And that's just how it is. Nimbus Cloak. Looking for the kill onto the Herald from the Z Squadron. The Z Squadron in trouble. And that really is the end of that. Demolish holding on middle. Again, he's on support. Can't really contend with the Revenant. And that's going to be it. It's over. Red team 300 points now. And I think this game, you know, the interesting thing is, like, you might go, oh, Blue got 85 points. I really think this game wasn't even remotely close. And yeah, like 300 to 100 is not that close, but I think this was an absolute beatdown, to be honest, because the composition of Blue just does not work into this at all. It's going to be very interesting to see if we see a lot of adaptation coming through from the Z Squadron and indeed other teams as we continue to move through the tournament. Because, of course, the other teams will be watching this. They will be seeing what the red team is playing here, and they'll be trying to come up with an answer to it because an even 55 couldn't take it out. So that means there's going to be a considerable obstacle in doing well in this tournament that will be this red team. Is it quarters? I think this is round 3, so no, not even close. It's going to be a tough match. Very tough match, actually. And yeah, I think they're going to have to move away from the double support. I don't think double support is going to work into this at all. So it's going to have to be either the Chronomancer from Blue or the Firebrand swapping to something else. Maybe further composition adjustments too, because double support, I think, gets completely hard countered by this approach from Red. There's nowhere near enough damage to kill these players from Blue. The Worms avenging their fallen brothers. Of course, Esprit and Azaz both deleted from the game, taken from us. The Big Worm and the Dark Worm, now known only as the Banned Worm and the Forbidden Worm.
Did you see that?
Will they ever return? Who can say? But anyway, that's it. Game over. Yeah, brutal game, actually. Absolutely brutal game. Complete smackdown. Look at that. Look at that points curve. And look at the kills, right? Just like no kills. Only 1 kill for Blue the entire game. Oh, well, they now get a second. Nimbus Cloak is going to fall, and so is Riken. Oh, well, I kind of cursed them there, but of course it doesn't matter. It's a triple cap. There's a couple of seconds left in this game, and this is just... This is French Theorycraft, guys. They are too powerful. And that's that. Worms. French Worms keep winning. Oh, we actually have a very close match here. The Chloe game. Red team is a couple of points ahead. 30 points ahead. But Blue are a player down. Ooh, ooh, hang on, though. Dude, this Reaper's connecting. Connecting big onto the Soul Beast. If they kill this, Blue... Oh, a massive Reaper stun from Blue. Taking out that Soul Beast. And we actually have the Thief bleeding out. They need to make sure there's no kind of sneaky revive that happens here. But hold on. Blue making a bit of magic happen here. We actually have the Catalyst from blue, pushing over here. Ooh, DH Man X is waiting here, and that's a problem. DH Man X is an issue. Can they even kill this in time? I'm not sure if they actually can. Can they even get the neutralization on middle? No, they're kind of struggling. The Thief is being super annoying over here as well. They get one decap. Can they do the second? No, I don't think they can, actually. DH Man X is too powerful. He's got the block, and yeah, red team have now reinforced. Red team's still holding on to middle, though. They get the decap, but that's not... Okay, they finally kill the Catalyst, but now they've got to reinforce. Oh, no! Their Catalyst dies almost instantly. Too much conditions. Too many condies ticking away from Intrig, I trust. And now blue, I think, is... they're dead now. They get the decap. Do they even get the decap? No, they do, but they're not in position to actually contest the windmill. They needed to send someone over to actually stand on this point if they wanted to make a comeback. They've completely forgotten about this node, and yeah, DH Man X wins the game. Hero of the windmill, DH Man X, stands there in his suit and tie, conducting business. And his business is winning this game. And that really is that. Boom. Who is DH Man X? It's DH Man X. That's who.
Just like that, blue team takes a capture point.
Okay. Game over. That's actually the end of the round as well. See if we have any other matches. 55 versus Chloe. That could be a game. Sugar Crush versus this blue team, I think. Could be interesting. Ah, now this actually is the big one, I think. We actually have two teams with the exact same name because they are, in fact, the same players just playing on... They're multi-boxing, actually. Let's see what we got. Dude, I just received an email. Okay. I have received a free code for the upcoming game, War Rats. Honestly, this is a remarkable game, guys. It's like a game that has a heavy metal soundtrack, and it's about rats engaging in modern military military warfare. Okay? Modern military warfare. Incredible stuff. Yeah. Rats. War Rats. Anyway, let's continue. On the red team, it's going to be Zealith 1v9, Skitto 1v9, Nana 1v9, Vague 1v9, Salad 1v9. Up against Goku 1v9, Riken 1v9, Kill 1v9, Glint 1v9, and whatever this is, 1v9. I mean, if you think about it, if they're all 1v9, this is kind of a free-for-all game.
The match starts soon.
Who knows what's going to happen here, guys? I mean, we really don't. This could be a very chaotic game. We, of course, have a support on red. No support for blue, of course. Unless you count the Spectre, which, you know, you kind of do. But we do have Mirage. Now, this is interesting because this does mean there's a lot of DPS on red team. And that might be the kind of thing that can work against this. In fact, they have the Reaper too, so there's a lot of damage. We are going to be seeing this clash of stars. We have the immovable object from the blue team with Goku. And then we have the unstoppable force, which is going to be the Reaper and the Mirage. So lots of damage. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Like, will the damage of red team completely obliterate the more defensive builds of blue? Or will they shatter upon the Aegis? Will they break themselves upon the body of blue? It's a big question. It's on faux fire too, which means it's going to be a very, very aggressive matchup, I think, here. Not a lot of time to rotate between these points. It means the Mirage is going to have a bit of a field day, I think. But then again, so will the Thief. And that's going to be the name of the game for blue. They need to kind of prevent red team's damage from connecting here. Like, that's going to be the problem. And if they can bully the Mirage and the Reaper, then they'll be fine. And that's what red team's going to be trying to do here. They're going to be trying to enable the Reaper and the Mirage to actually bust through the bunkers, right? Bust down through these bunkers. Okay. And yeah, they need to make sure that this Necro is actually getting that support too. Because, of course, Necro in the 1v1s, it can, it can hold its own in a 1v1, but it will eventually run out of juice. Necro getting very, very low here. And so far, Blue, they're standing firm. Look at the health bars. Look at the health bars, guys. They're not really moving. The health bars of Red looking much, much worse. And Blue are just shutting down the offensive potential of Red highly effectively. And they're moving their way towards a triple cap. Nimbus Cloak with Glint looking to shove away the Red Renegade here. They're doing it fairly effectively. Blue nearly getting that cap. And Red not looking like they can really do that much. I'm not going to lie, guys. Can they kill Goku? I mean, he's getting a little bit drained now. Ooh, he is getting mega blasted by that Mirage. Can he hold on? Wants to get the Signet off, I think. Oh, he is going to finally die. Yeah, so that's what it takes, guys. You need the full power of a Mirage and a Reaper to get that done. This Rev actually might go for a cheeky res here. No, not going to go for... Oh, might attempt to rally, though. That would be very disgusting. Oh, no. No way. Goku with the vet. Surely he doesn't. Surely he doesn't rally. Okay, no. There was actually a revive that came through there, I believe, from the Tempest. So that could have been unbelievably disgusting. It's not going to happen, though, this time. That was an insane play. That was an insane maneuver, if you will. It is going to be denied, though, but Skitto does still go down again. So it might end up being a 1-for-1 trade. There's no glyph available this time. And yeah, the blue team converges on that down state and they take it out. And honestly, 4v4, blue is happy, right? The lower amount of players on the map, the happier they are. That means there's less damage and that means they can just like live better. They pick up the kill on the Tempest and this is not going very well for Red whatsoever. That was a good kill onto Goku, but they weren't able to stabilize after that pressure. Maybe getting caught off guard a bit by the Vengeance, too. Like that turn of aggression with the Revenant trying to go for that crazy rally play. Contestable, vague 1v9 in the downstate.
Just like that.
He has fallen.
Takes a capture point.
And now, the French worms have now solidified themselves. They have locked in.
Team grabbed a capture point.
The triple cap is here. It's going to be very hard to break this triple cap, actually. It is not going to be easy to break out of this whatsoever. Very, very difficult. You can see here. Blue, an ironclad grasp. Now, Glint's 1v3, not 1v9, but it's getting close. Does have the staff evasion abilities, so should be able to hold on at least for the time being. Needs a little bit more reinforcement. I think this is just going to be a death. They're going to concede this. Maybe overstaying the welcome there. Yeah, Glint does get caught. So the Worms, perhaps slightly being a bit too greedy there. Let's see if they're going to give up that node entirely, if they're going to go back in. Looks like they actually do want to at least contest it a little bit and shove their opponents away. Goku just holding this 1v2 quite comfortably. Of course, they are going to essentially have a 4v4 here until the extra Revenant rotates in. They're going to be down a player for another, like, 10 seconds or so. Maybe a bit more than that, even. But they're actually just winning the fight. They get the kill. And that's that. Wow. Yeah, they just straight up win that 4v4 very quickly, very decisively. The support not able to contest it. And the support just dies as well. Mirage down, and that is kind of the issue here, right? Is that the Mirage does struggle in those team fights. It's not going to be able to deliver the value it wants. It wants to be rotating around, finding these little pit kills all over the map, and that's not been happening this game. And that one node held by Red, it's not going to be long for this world, I think. Vague in the downstate yet again. Blue immediately wresting control of this node back over to their side, over to their attunement as the blue team. And red team, I don't think they know what to do. They really do not want to do, guys. It's over. And no, YouTube, no, red team is not rank 55 dragons. This is in fact Team Zeolith. That's what it is. And here they are. They're gaming. Blue team getting a little bit low. One Herald very low. Gets healed up a little bit, though. Spectre pumping some barrier into that Revenant. And it might come down to a big 5v5. The thing is, though, I'm not sure how this 5v5 actually goes for red team. Because, again, they have this Mirage that's just not going to be able to take the heat. And these Revs are going to do a lot of work, and you can already see the health bars. That Reaper, it's just not having the sustain to deal with this. It's too much CC. It's too much damage output. They're going to go down and say, is there a res? There is. The glyph comes through. It lands. It's a water glyph as well, so full HP. But look at this. It's too much. The Revs land their Shiro Elite. Reaper goes down again. Tempest forced to run away, leaving the rest of the team completely exposed. Nimbus Cloak, kill in trouble. Gets full Shroud, though, and is now completely fine, at least for a couple of seconds. Does go down. And maybe that's some potential for Red Team to actually make this happen. But no, the rally comes through from the Necro bleeding out, and the Thief is back alive again. It is going to fall over again almost immediately. Let's see if Red Team can continue to actually take this fight. Are they going to go for that res? I don't think they go for that res. But actually, they might be able to go for a bit of a rally. No, never mind. The Thief's already died, but the Tempest is down. And with no support, that's going to completely crumble the team fight. The Shiro Elite comes through. It lands onto the Rev. The Mirage in so much trouble. 500 points. It's over. Worms. Worms. They're back. This is the French metagame, guys. 500 points to 40. Absolute destruction. GG. Can anyone stop them? Can anyone stop them, guys? I'm not sure if they can. Actually, I have, Oh, wow. Guys, 55. They're just going to match it. Boyce activates the Renegade. Abindo. They're practicing, guys. They're warming up. This could be their answer to the French. Syndra on Spectre. They've completely bent the knee to French Theorycraft. Abindo on Herald number 1. Draza on Herald number 2. And Boyce on Renegade. Misha still playing the support, though. The Master of Disaster. Healing for Ants. His team are the Ants. And he is the healer. And Sind on the Spectre. Of course, the Omega Condi build. And then the 2 Revenants. 3 Revenants, even. Level 2 Tempest. Like, Misha's literally level 2. Boyce level 16. Very impressive. Okay, see how this one goes. Of course, they are going to have to, you know, they're playing a very different style now. They've had to kind of abandon what they were doing before and kind of try out a couple of new things mid-tournament. Pretty spicy stuff. And of course, this is going into this rather interesting approach with the double Spectre and this kind of 3 very tanky builds. Now, because this game is very likely to be slow, because of the nature of, honestly, the red team is kind of going to be always dictating the pace because they have these very durable builds in the double Thief. Like, Thief is very good at slowing down the game, and having 2 of them can do just that. Loads of decaps, loads of forcing people away from nodes so they can't get caps and so on. Like, an 80-point advantage, I would say, is a very big deal. So 55 currently very far ahead because of just the way this game is going to flow. And we're getting a regroup here. These players were driven away into the base. Now they're back in the mix. But of course, that has left the red team a little bit exposed. They're looking to pick up this kill. Sind lunging in. Tries to find this kill. Can he get it? Onto the enemy Spectre. Because there was an Earth Shield being used. Lots of ports about the place. Ooh. Some real mind-bending movement here from Sakaya. Gets the CC onto Sind. Denies that damage. He's going to live to fight another day, at least for the time being. Re-stealths himself. But red team not able to break the hold of blue. 2 nodes still held. Soul Beast in a little bit of trouble here as well. If the Rev can land another hit, that's going to be the end of that. And yeah, that is going to be that. A Sword 3 comes through there from Draza. Picks up that kill. Have to finish that. It is the Rev. The B doing its best to interfere there, but that's not going to cut it. The B is not powerful enough to save the Ranger from their demise. Abindo, in middle, being pulled by DH Man X. Is DH Man X going to be able to activate? But this is the part of the match where DH Man X's power has been reduced because he can't really decap, especially not on this big map, on this big node, right? This node means that he can't spam all of his AoEs and traps, right, and cover the whole thing. It's not the best position for him, really. He can hold very well on the sides, but he doesn't have a lot of damage to actually break through. And this is kind of the game. It's 2 nodes to 1. And that means that 55 are slowly winning the game, right? The point gap is increasing by 1 every tick. It's now up to 140, nearly 150. And that's a really tough deficit to make up because, again, like, red team are... I think they're going to struggle to have more than a 2 cap. And a lot of the teams are this, you know, with the way the meta is appearing to be right now. So, yeah. The Boyce build. Yeah, it's the Renegade build here. He's playing Salvation. So very tanky. Salvation, Retribution, and Renegade. So it's got a bit of damage on it. Has that AoE pressure, of course, from not only the hammer, but also from the Renegade stance. You can just plop those spirits down on the node. Very obnoxious. Really glad those exist. That's the build. Yeah, Relic of the Defender. Big sustain there. Rune of the Dolyak and Avatar Amulet. Tank God Boyce. And this game's kind of over, to be honest. Even a single kill is so brutal. Because it's very hard for red to do damage, to do enough damage to get through this with 5. With 4, I think it's impossible. Right? It's completely impossible. They can't kill anything here. With only 4 people. It's support. No, it's not a support build. It's more of a bunker build. It's not a healer. It doesn't have Ventari or anything wacky like that. It's Renegade stance and Assassin stance. The reason why people take Salvation is because of the tankiness, right? Unyielding Devotion, it gives you 10% incoming damage reduction, basically permanently, right? You also have the extra barrier while you have boons. You have conditions when you dodge roll. It's that kind of stuff that's big, right? Like, it's a lot of sustain. You combine that with Retribution, you've got a build that's a bit of a monster. You've got AoE weakness when you use your heal skill. You've got Vigor that combines really well with Enduring Recovery for more dodge rolls. You have damage reduction when you have Resolution. And, of course, by the way, guys, Renegade gives you Resolution, which synergizes really well with Retribution from Wrought Iron Will. Protection, of course, from All for One. And then you have Lasting Legacy, which is going to juice you up even more across the entire thing there. So that's the situation. But that's it, guys. 460 points. And, you know, again, the score is kind of telling a weird story here. I don't think this game was close at all. These revs are unstoppable, man. The revs can't... They cannot be broken. They're unbreakable. Intestable. Yeah. Boy's doing a magic trick over here. He's trying to summon a ranger build that works. I've seen his streams. I think he's out of copium. Like, he's completely out of copium, unfortunately. Hate to see that. They lost 1 game. Yeah, but they weren't playing this setup. They were playing... They didn't give in to the revs just yet. Wow, very close game here. Ooh, hold on. 1 point advantage for blue. 1 point. And there's the double cap. Red team have got to do something about that. Oh, they're about to lose the catalyst as well. Blue team, are they coming back or are they just winning? Ooh, big comeback from blue. Can they close it out? I think they... Yeah, they win. Yeah, they win. It's guaranteed. AFK here, devouring humans. And honestly, this guy's just AFK. There's, like, no reason to go over there. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point, but yeah. They win. Blue team wins. Yeah, exactly. Boyce is just going to play... Look, you should know this. Whatever Boyce plays will get nerfed. So if he plays Renegade, ArenaNet will delete Renegade from existence next patch. I think that's the end of the round. Okay, what's coming up next? Ooh, 55, French round 2. Although it's a different French team, guys. You got to bear that in mind. This is the Zealith team. That, of course, did have a lot of difficulty against the other French team. The French Worms, I guess. So, yeah, basically... Zealith team lost to French Worms. It's now going to be Zealith versus 55. Z Squadron activating. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I've just got a bit of a cold today. Oh. Donate to Motor, guys. Donate cash to Motor and gold so we can have a massive prize pool. Do it now. Or don't. It's up to you. Torment, actually, guys, is about a month away. Very exciting. Should be really good, actually. Stay tuned. I think this guy... Ooh, Temple. Yeah, Sugar Crush. This is Sugar Crush versus Worms.
The match starts soon.
Motor is the PvP tournament I'm running next month. We have charity stuff going on. We have real money prizing. We have gold prizing. Wow, we got it all. This is an interesting game. Now, the thing that, again, I'm just worried about is there enough damage to actually kill the blue team? I think that the Spectre's going to be good here. For Red having that. And then we do actually have 2 revs on Red team. That is good. That is definitely good. But I do, look, I know this is weird, but I feel like a lot of this stuff comes down to Goku. Like, do they have the ability to get rid of Goku? I think he's going to be such a problem in all these matches. Because we've seen him essentially be borderline unkillable and able to, you know, slowly wear down most opponents in these 1v1s. Now, there's a lot of projectile destruction, actually, on the Rev build. You've got the planar protection and, of course, the Hammer 4. And that might actually impede the DPS progress of the Warrior. So that might be good, but it's going to be a bit of a tricky one. However, this 2v2 is going very well here. Throw on the Spellbreaker, able to kind of shove away this Rev with the Spectre. So Red team actually pick up that node. That's pretty good. Here's Juno. It's Lisa. Lisa, also a powerful member of the Worms. Also now Sugar Crush too. Sugar Worm. Sounds a bit weird, actually, doesn't it? Anyway, gaming is happening, and actually so far, Team Sugar Crush doing a very good job here. These Soul Bees kind of hacking away of it, getting very, very low. Has a heal in 1 second. Hold on. Ooh, gets away with it. Some support coming through. And actually, Red Team winning this 2v2 outright. Very, very nice. And I do think the condition pressure is going to be big. Like, Rev, historically, it's not a happy-chappy when it runs into con, these guys. It really, really is not. So not a surprise there, and I think that the Soul Beast and the Spectre are going to be able to apply good damage onto the Worms for that reason, and I think that's why this is going well. Should have kind of pointed that out earlier, but yeah, the Condi damage is pretty nice from Red. Incredible! Okay, let's see what blue team's going to do to respond to this, but they're already nearly 100 points down. Sugar Crush putting up an excellent performance so far. Because that is the downside of playing this kind of bunker style, right, that we see from blue team. If you're ahead, it's amazing, right, because it's very hard for your opponents to recover, but that's very much a double-edged sword. When you're behind, and when you don't own these, as you can see, Goku has been neutralized. Like, he can't kill that Renegade because of the projectile destruction. And so he hasn't been able to force this node, and so he's not really delivering value. And then that was a brutal 2v2 victory there with the Soul Beast. Kind of involved there with the Warrior. They were able just to get those kills. And all of a sudden, the bunker comp is not able to actually establish.
Red team wins a capture
We continue in Guild Wars 1 tomorrow. I'm probably just going to turn the stream off after the AT, guys. I might do a little bit to promote my PvE tournament, but I'm actually not feeling very well today. I'm all juiced up. I'm drugged up to get through this tournament, guys. We're a bit under the weather since yesterday, really. But anyway, gaming is happening. Aerozik wriggling around, looking for an opportunity, but that's the thing. I kind of like... Dude, I feel like Red Team is playing this really smart, by the way. Like, they're not overcommitting. They know that if they just hold one node, that's all they need. They don't need a lot of points. There's not a lot of, like, giga snowball potential from Blue. Ooh, Floor needs to not die in this 1v1, though. Big spike there. Actually might be able to win it. Oh, trying to go for the spears. Glint heal is available, I believe, here, so can't really have any kill potential for now. This is a big 1v1, though. It does get decapped. Floor really wants to win this, and so does the Rev, obviously. If they can actually get a node, they're very happy. Well, now we do actually have a kill there on the Soul Beast. Floor doesn't die here. Isn't quite able to secure this kill, but again, as long as he can just get the node, he's pretty happy. Rampage is coming up as well. He might be about to unleash it. Are we going to see the Rampage? We'll get CC. Does have a stun break, though. Might be forced to Rampage, yeah, just for defensive purposes. Lands the rock! Oh, quick. That would have been a death there, I think. Oh, Floor gets hit by the Sword 3, though. Has the heal skill and actually combos it! Lands it. Floor, of course, well known for being a rank 1 PvP player, guys. You have to bear that in mind. Rank 1 legend. Able to win that 1v1 into the opponent. And that's a very big victory here. But they've got to be careful with losing the rest of the map there. But more kills are coming through. Nimbus Cloak and, of course, that Revenant now falling for Blue. Goku still not able to actually control middle here. But if he does get it, he'll be hard to dislodge. And that would be a really big pain, I think, for the red team if Goku can get this cap. But again, I think they were really smart to put the Renegade into Goku. Because a lot of Goku's damage is projectile-based, right? And that is shutting it down. The Renegade may be a little bit too tanky. Buffs are going to be coming up soon. That's where things do get a little bit interesting, I think. That's where we're going to have to see how these teams kind of split themselves up across the board. And here we go.
Blue team grabbed a capture point.
Floor very, very low here. Needs to be careful. Does have the ability to drop down, of course, if he needs to. Both playing it out pretty smart, pretty defensively. One cap here for Blue, but it's going to be neutralized by that Soul Beast. And the Soul Beast, I think the Soul Beast is a little bit of a vulnerability for Blue. The condition builds, Rev is just not, it's not a Condi fan, guys. It's not a Condi fan. And I think that does mean that this Soul Beast is going to be having a bit of a field day, kind of tearing into these Revenants, especially when we got that support going through Meritic. That's just a kill. That's an immediate kill. Glint goes down. The B is there. Boom! The B secures the kill. Not the Ranger, it was the B the entire time.
Blue team takes a capture point.
Okay.
Did you see that?
Lots of damage now coming through.
Got a capture point.
Buff, just going to get stalled here. But red with both sides. Now, Blue does have middle. So, of course, Goku, you know, if he wants to, he can kind of have a bit of an iron grasp on that. But he's also 1v2ing on the buff, so he can't do that. Rev is defending it, though. Now, the bottom buff is up as well. Let's see how the teams are going to respond to that. Bit of a thief 1v1. Might be hard to actually secure a kill here. It's a very important 1v1, though. If any of the thieves die, that would be very, very brutal. But so far, Red have just got such a fantastic advantage. Like, they are very happy with how this game is progressing. They really, really are. Well, Goku might get the buff for free. No, just barely denied there by the Soul Beast. And we have the 1v1 here between the Renegade and, of course, the Herald. Is going to end up leaving there, trying to find a kill onto Floor. Ooh, Floor 800 HP, does end up dying there. Not revivably, there's way too much damage from these Blue players. Well, a second kill might come through. That could be scary. That could give Blue a bit of a moment to strike.
Blue team grabbed a
However,
capture point.
Soul Beast has strength of the pack, able to escape pretty
Red team
effectively
wins
there.
a capture point.
Red now has 2 cap again.
Did you see that? Red team got a capture point.
And yeah, guys, Blue having a lot of difficulty in this matchup. I mean, it's a bigger map, and that is not ideal. Like, the bigger map is tough for the Worms because they really want to be able to rotate very quickly between all these points. But they have a decent amount of mobility, right? They're pretty fast. All these Shiro revs. Ooh, red team pick up the top buff as well. I think this game is a little bit over.
Just like that.
I really do, guys. I'm not really sure I'm not sure how blue can recover. They've got a double cap now. That's nice. But there's only 6 minutes left in the game. I'm not sure if they win without a decap. It'll be very close. Either way, they need more. I think they need more than this. This isn't good enough as of right now. Let's see how they're going to achieve that. They're sending a couple more players down to the bottom buff. Glint in this 1v1, but I don't think this is a happy 1v1 here, really, for the Renegade. This does not feel good for the Renegade whatsoever. This Untamed, or the Soul Beast, rather, is going to be having a good time over here. The bee is just, you know, unleashing its bee juice all over the Ren. Big Condi's connecting. More conditions coming through. Look at that, a brutal poison spike! The cleanse comes through, but it's an uphill battle, I think. It really is. Yeah. Floor, 1v1ing into GS Bow. Now, I think Floor might have difficulty here, purely on the fact there's just so much sustain. Blue team... Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Blue team actually do manage to grab bottom buff. There was so much going on, we actually lost track of that. That's maybe some hope here for blue. Hold on. Because that is the kind of thing they need to win this game. Now if they can bunker, we could be in trouble on red team. Because this is the kind of situation that blue likes to see. They want to be standing on those points, surviving 1vx, 1v9 even. Middle uncontested. Red zerging down Glint. Able to do it. There's still one rev over here. Floor is in the downside, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Oh, wait. Is the hammer being blocked? It is! Oh, it does. He's barely managed to slip a hammer past the opponent to actually get to deny that, but it still goes through anyway. And that's a quadruple cap! No! I don't believe this. This is an absolute disaster here. Both buffs going the way of blue team. I think that's enough to actually get them into the lead. That's going to be a 3-point differential per tick. If they hold on to these two nodes, they will be in the lead, I think, after that buff is over. But they've got to hold it. Mai going for the decap. I want to see this blue player get on the node. They don't feel confident to do it, though. The con damage is too much. So red, I think, are going to cling on to an advantage. Yeah, that rev didn't really have the cooldowns to contest. Has to back off. Point gain is still okay, but it's going to be even soon. Look, it's going to be no more stillness. Very shortly. Riken is dead. 50 points in it. Team Sugar Crush looking good. Yeah, and Glint dies, I think. I think Glint's dead. 8 poisons. There it is. Tick. 2 players left for blue. Yeah, that's it. The recovery has been completely shut down. Red team, they rally. They keep cool under the pressure of that slightly unfortunate series of events. They maintain composure and make it happen. And red team now pushing, want to get rid of Goku. But I don't think they really need to. I think, honestly, I'd kind of like to see red team just play this really safe. Yeah, Floor goes to middle, wants to hold it. I like that a lot. Soul Beast can kind of just be over here defensively on the temple. And they were able to get rid of Goku too. Juno being plonked down onto the temple. Goku moving back in, but won't be able to get the cap. And now blue, it's going to be a Hail Mary. They have to just get the buff. Somehow they've got to get both buffs again. That's the only way. It is the only way. 2 minutes on the clock. The thing is, I don't think there's 2 minutes left in this game. Because of course, we each have 1 point a second. So it's 60 seconds from now, red team wins, just based off points. So see if blue can do something weird. If Erozik dies here, then the thief gets the buff, goes down, gets the other buff, and then they kill Maya very quickly. It's winnable, but again, they've got 40 seconds to do it. And the thing is, the red team know that. So all the red team have to do is not lose. They don't need to actually win right now. They need to not lose. So all that, all that Erozik has to do, he doesn't even care about getting the cap, right? He just has to not die and not yield the buff to the thief. It's the same thing for Maya. Maya doesn't actually care about this buff. Maya needs to not die. And that's exactly what both of those players are accomplishing. And they're going to win this game. Guys, the worms can bleed. They bust through 55. They bust through the other French. But they've been stopped by E-Girl Buff Sugar Crush here in the Swiss rounds. That's that. Boom. Ooh. Invoke Goose Stance, 1,250 Mystic Coins. That's a lot of daily ATs. Motor honking. Of course, actually a legendary player, guys. I remember. I don't think that team even really still plays anymore, but there was actually, a very long time ago, guys, there was actually a goose-themed team. Okay? That was, of course, led by this goose enthusiast. Doesn't that team exist anymore? Kind of sad, to be honest, but still supporting the PvP scene. 1,250 MCs. Love to see that. Still goose-themed. Incredible. Okay. Let's continue. That's probably the slowest game, right? Oh, wait. Are we on elimination, guys? Oh, I think we're on elimination. We absolutely are. Okay, wow. Phew. I kind of lost track of that. Pretty exciting stuff. Yeah, that was the 5th round. And that means we're now on the elimination. So this is what it's going to look like. Oh, and these are honestly kind of, these are pretty spicy, guys. We have Sugar Crush versus Konoha. We have, of course, Zealoth's team versus rank 55. That's going to be exciting. Driven by Time. I think this is going to be, yeah, that's kind of the lowest seed, I think. That's going to be relatively straightforward here for the Worms, I think. And then Z Squadron versus Chloe. How are you? I mean, I'm doing very well, Lisa. You guys had better be playing in Motor with performances like this. I need to actually round all you lot up so we can see who's actually playing. Need 6 teams for Motor. That is what we need. And to round you all up. Yeah, let's see. Look, we could do Motor with this. We could have French Worms, Team Zealoth, 55, Sugar Crush, Z Squadron. Let's fucking go, guys. Okay, maybe Chloe's team plays as well. We're in business, right? That's easy tournament right there, lads. Okay, let's see. What are we trying to look at here? I kind of want to keep track of a couple of these. I think the 2 most exciting ones, I think, are going to be these 2. I think game 3 here, I think, is very favored to Worms. And game here, I think, is very favored towards Sugar Crush. So we'll have to see what's going on there. Yup. Incredible. All right, well, let's zone in. Oh, some of these games have already kind of commenced. It's Capricorn for the first round of elimination. That's a pretty interesting one, actually. That's an interesting round, I think, because that means the teams that have the really powerful team fight are going to be pretty happy to see that. And I think that means that Red Team are happy, because they do have that team fight. I really like the reroll here. Demolish listening to the stream, taking my advice, I'm always right. Goes for the reroll. And actually, yeah, it's a very different, they're much more high DPS approach. And I actually really like that. I think this is really smart from Red, actually. Because we have this kind of bunkery, rotation-y style, right? The Double Thief, DH Man X, the Catalyst here. I really like the rerolls here from Notamelon and Demolish into these mega DPS builds. The Holosmith from Demolish and the Mirage from Notamelon. I like that a lot. I think they are probably gonna have a good time in this match. Because now, all of a sudden, the lack of sustain and defensive capacity is gonna be very tricky for Blue. And the team fights are gonna be impossible, I think. Because there's so much damage here. The Rev, the Holo, the Mirage. That's going to be unmanageable, I believe, for the Blue team. So I think Red team has adapted to what they've been seeing, and I think they're going to be heavily advantaged in this match as a result of that. Yeah, and they still have the Chrono, a very aggressive support build. Able to rotate quickly, give super speed to the lads, and kind of provide those boons to enable that damage output. The usual Holo build? Yeah, I think so. It's Isgaran, Holosmith, Zerka, with tools, explosives, and of course the Holosmith. So yeah, pretty standard stuff here from Demolish with Shortbow too, which is a little bit cursed if you ask me, but look, that's the way it goes, guys. That's the good stuff, apparently. But anyway, there you go. I think this is going to be a very straightforward game. I think, ooh, Yui in trouble, though. I think he's all right as Distort and SOI, so should be all right. But yeah, as long as the support stands firm, I think Red Team are going to have a very good time in a lot of these engagements. So yeah, good adaptation here by Red. Very favored in this match. Let's see what the other games are doing.
Cannons loaded.
Yeah, Worms massively favored, as you can see here. Into Driven by Time. Sugar Crush versus Kanoa. Again, I think that's going to be favored towards Sugar Crush. I think the 55 game hasn't actually yet started, so we can actually stay in this game for a while and see if blue team can cook something up. But I think it's going to be hard to. It's going to be very, very hard to. I do think that the blue comp, it did catch people off guard a little bit earlier, but that's Swiss, guys. This is not a best of one. Well, it is now, obviously. But at the end of the day, your opponents do have the ability to adapt to what you're playing, and that's exactly what we see here from the red team. Mixing things up, bringing some serious DPS and rotational power to the table, and just making it work. Demolish a little bit on the low side, but the Catalyst is lower. Yep, game over, I think. Game over, man. Yep, Sugar Crush crushing. So, let's see. French game. French content. Here we go.
The match starts.
Ooh. Big Worm Reborn. Guys, as we can see here, we actually have some rerolls. We have rerolls coming through. Into 55, and oh my goodness, what is this? We have a complete French reroll. Misha on Chrono. Boyce, he hates Rev. He's back on the... He wants more Ranger nerfs. I hope you guys don't like Ranger in the chat. Boyce on Ranger. Ranger's doomed. Double Rev from Abindo and Draza. Syndra on Spectre. But we actually have French Theorycraft here, guys. We have Super DPS on the Hollow. Vague 1v9. Rank 1 Legend. Here on the Power Rev. Nana activating on the Renegade. And of course, we have the Double Thief approach here. And wait, is this the Big Worm? Wait, who is this player? I fucking blocked him by accident. It's Zeolith. It's the Big Worm Reborn. Because, of course, Esprit, very well known for playing that Condi Thief approach in the original French comp. Paying his homage to the original Worm. Condi Core Thief. This is an insane cook. And, of course, the Spectre as well for red. So it's Double Thief here. A lot of mobility. But again, they do not have a support, so they need to keep this match very unstable if they want to win. You've got to bear that in mind, guys. They've got to have things a little bit wacky. Because if the team fight comes down to it, it's a 4v4, that's when Misha is going to deliver some serious value. Boyce in a bit of trouble. Going for the Big Worm Reborn. He leaps in. He lands a brutal crit onto the Thief. Forcing him to get out, but can he get out? A lot of porting going on here. Looks like he gets back into stealth and is going to hold on. Big Worm Reborn, rehealing. So this is some kind of weird Condi Core Thief scenario. One of the most cursed builds ever to have existed. Big Worm Reborn. Getting chased down by Sind a little bit. That's a good position. Oh, gets caught though. I think that's a death. That's going to be a kill. Oh, what? Yeah, the Gravity Well from the Spectre Elite lands it. Super DPS. Obviously not having the best time either of it. Getting chased down by Boyce and Sind. Now in that 1v2, of course, the Thief dying there, not exactly ideal. Tries to get away and kite away, but it's going to be tough to hold on. He's got Mortar Kit. A little bit of Condi Cleanse from the short bow is available. Some good kiting here by Zid. He's holding on. He's holding on here. He really is. Manages to actually live. Heal skill in a couple of seconds. Hard Light Arena up 2 pretty soon. Can he make this hold? It's massive if he can. It's a huge hold, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough. Gets the heal. Oof. And the Hard Light Arena. That might be enough, actually. He lives for the arena. Elixir Gun. Big counter pressure. Holds the 1v2 into Sind and Boyce. That is very impressive. Makes it work. Does now have to actually reinitiate this 1v1 with Boyce, though. And, well, look, that's out of the frying pan into the fire. Let me tell you that. Mortar Kit is now available. Abindo getting driven. Oh, a big Condi burst onto Abindo. Lives it, though. 55 still ahead, though. We need to see the Frenchies make something happen. They need to get some kills. And I think they haven't been able to leverage these Thieves. I think that's their plan, right? They've got this double Condi Thief. And they want to try and find kills with it. But they're not. It's getting shut down. I just think... this is the this, to me, I feel like is the problem with Core Thief. Core Thief just doesn't... I feel like it can't live. Am I crazy on this, guys? I just don't think it has the survivability of the Spectre.
Red team wins a capture point.
Because the Spectre's got that extra mobility. You've got the Well of Bounty. You've got Shroud, right? You've got the barrier that it can bring to the table. I'm just not... This Core Thief is too easy to bully. It's just getting bullied this game. It really is. And let's see if Zealot is going to come back and prove me wrong. Of course, Bell is now up. It's being contested. The Hollow doing its thing. Super DPS holding on. Oh, doesn't want to give it up. Reinforcements are on their way, but nothing left on the Hollow. This is a dead Hollow, I think. Yeah, could live by kiting, but really does not want to concede the Bell. And is essentially forced to do so. And that's going to be a free Bell for Boyce.
Blue team ring the bell. Fire all cannons.
I think this is an overcook. This seems to be an overcook, guys. They went for that big relog moment. They went for that surprise, but I think we've gone too far on this one. I'm afraid it's burnt. It's burnt, guys. This is like a well-done steak. It's the kind of thing that's going to get you thrown out of a restaurant.
Just like that, blue team takes a capture point.
Misha, under a bit of pressure here.
Blue team grabbed a capture point.
Taking a lot of damage. Bit low on CDs. Bit of support coming through from Sin, though, as well. Double cap now for blue, and yeah, it's kind of happy days here for 55. I haven't seen the red team connect here. Like the cook they've come up with, it's obviously exciting to look at, but it's not working. It is not working. We do have the kill on Vague as well. Renegade goes down. Super DPS. Kind of dealing with Boyce.
Wins a capture point.
Again, you know, Boyce, I'm not sure if the Hollow, you know, I'm not sure if Super DPS is going to live up to his name, really, because, yeah, as you can see, it's Prot Hollow, right? It's Alchemy Inventions. He doesn't actually have Super DPS. Did get a bit of connection there onto Boyce, but isn't able to really finish the job, and now Cinderner is back. We saw him survive this last time, but surviving isn't good enough at this stage, right? Like, something has to connect, and it's just not happening. Vague down. Big Worm, not really able to do much. Super DPS falls this time. Doesn't get the kiting off, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It's either burnt or raw. One of the two. Maybe both somehow. It's a ZDPS scenario here for red team. But I think some of that does come down to the Core Thief. I'm not seeing the Core Thief doing a lot here. It's one of those builds that it is disgusting, and in ranked, I imagine it can do really well, because that's when you don't have that coordination to shut it down, but 55 are just doing a good job of, I think, just denying all value from this Core Thief, right? It's just not able to... Yeah, it's just dead, right? It's not working at all. I mean, we could see a Desperation reroll, maybe, or like a relog or something, but it's getting a little bit late in the day for that. Let's see if any of the other games are competitive. I don't think... Yeah, they're just over. Yeah, this is the last one from the quarterfinals, as you can see here. As you can see here. You love to see it. But yeah, 55, I think, just going to be cruising to the semis with this one. Not a lot to say, really. And it is going to be Worms versus Z Squadron. In the semis. Ooh, and that means it's going to be 55 versus Sugar Crush, I believe. That might be rather interesting as well. Definitely need to kind of keep an eye on that.
Blue team ring the bell.
But it's not going to be French versus French finals. I'll tell you that. Yeah, this is very over. Skyhammer. Let's go into the semis, guys. Semifinals. On the red team, it is the Z Squadron. We have Phantasmal Yui on the Chrono. Emperor Dra. Look at him. He's the Emperor. Demolish on the Firebrand. And, of course, Narcissist. Not a melon here on the Rev. So they're going to go for the double support. That is worrying to me. That scares me a little bit. I wonder if we're going to see relogs. I don't feel good about this comp, to be honest, for red here. I don't feel that good about this. But let's see if they've got something up their sleeve. some kind of strategy. Maybe a 2-node approach and just say, fuck the 3rd node, just play 2, win the team fight. Ah, okay. Here we have the rerolls. Okay. Tempest for the team fight, like just raw healing output. And it's going to be the Mirage and the Holo. Okay, I like that more. I do like this more, actually. Okay. Let's see if this is going to work. Can they break through these bunkers? Now, look, let me just tell you the story, guys. They call this Wormhammer for a reason. This is a map where bunker style does work very well. It's often a slower map. The hammer resetting the nodes, having that 4th node on the map, spreading players out. That can be scary, and all of the kiting potential around the nodes makes it very easy to live on bunkers. So they do call it the Wormhammer. So let's see how this one goes. But there's a lot of damage now. The Holo and the Mirage are not to be sniffed at. Let's see if it's going to be enough to actually break through. Okay. So the fight begins. Blue team 1 point up. It's over. Oh no, Demolish already dead though, actually. Of course, the Holo is not really, you don't see a lot of NGs, and a big part of that is because Holo does have a bit of a tough time surviving. It's not the tankiest build in the universe. It's, you can't even really call Holo a brawler, really, at this point, compared to how tanky a lot of the other kind of tanky DPS builds are. It's more of a glass cannon, really, in the current metagame. And, oh, so is the Mirage. And the Mirage gets bullied. Oh, that's not a good start. That is a rough start here for Team Red. Dra holding his own against GS Bow, but will get collapsed upon as more and more of the French are going to start showing up. This Rev should be able to get that cap before the Red Warrior shows up. Yep, is able to do that. We'll begin a 1v1 here. Ooh, okay. Now we have this team fight going on. It's going to be outnumbered in favor of Blue as well. Ooh, the Ellie gets caught there by some of the damage. Tried to get the LOS, but not going to be quite able to make that happen, unfortunately. Knocked off the point, will get cleaved out and bled down for a little bit. Tough start, tough start. And here we actually have another player, that Holo. Holo just can't live. He can't live it. I'm not going to lie, I think it's still going to work out better than double support. I think double support just does not... I don't even agree. I'm not sure if the comp was better before the rerolls. I think the comp before the rerolls would do literally nothing into the blue team's comp. At least with this comp, they can actually kill something. Dra goes down.
Cores installed.
And yeah, GS Bow plonks himself on middle. That's where he likes to be. There's the cap, double cap. And the third held neutral. Mirage won't be able to hold against this. They can honestly just leave this in a 1v1. Ooh, not a melon, so much trouble. We are going to go back to the Firebrand, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Not a melon on the Mirage. Still going to not reroll, so going to keep some of that damage around. But yeah, the Holo definitely was not working. The Holo was not working at all. Tempest in play, tries to get the heal off, but it's a triple cap in favor of Blue. Hey, look, these Revs are just unstoppable, guys. Like, the Revs are just too strong. Like, this is just a build that is very good at everything, right? Like, that's why you're seeing these get stacked here by the Blue team. Well, and the Renegade, too. The Renegade kind of leaning more into the bunker-oriented build that has... It can still do some damage, right, and some CC and so on, but leaning towards the bunker. But these Heralds, they've got the mobility, right? They've got the damage output. They've got the tankiness. I think you need a Condi approach. Like, I think you do need a Condi approach. I think you do. I think you do. Because... the only thing that we've seen reliably give these Revenants trouble is the Condi approach from Sugar Crush, right? Like the Spectre, the Soul Beast, right? That can actually hold its own and get kills. Not a melon going for a relog. Back over to the Rev. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's too late. The game's too locked down for Blue. Yeah, I just think power can't kill this effectively enough. They're just too tanky with Retribution. Too tanky. Heavy armor, Retribution, prot up time from the Heralds and from the Renegade. It's just not going to work. They can't get kills. If you can't get kills, you can't win the game. 300 to 30. And I don't think the points are going to change much. Because we have got the 2 Revs, which is going to be nice for Red Team. But do they have enough damage to actually kill here? They've got double support. There's 2 supports. They've got 0 DPS. I'm not even sure if the team fights go well for Red. Even with the supports. Rev getting a little bit low here. And now blue team are going to go for it. Oh, Goku in trouble. And now that should prompt blue team just to leave there. They were a little bit spread there. And just Red had a big Zerg. A big Zerg picking up that kill onto Goku. Glint in a bit of trouble. They're trying to peel him out. They've got super speed. Glint in a little bit of trouble.
Cores installed.
But realistically, I think the game has ended.
Red team wins a capture point.
The game is past tense at this stage. 55 versus Sugar Crush about to start. We're going to be on Skyhammer. And take a look at that. It hasn't started yet. But anyway. 400 points. And the Worms, they're just looking solid here. Goku getting very heavily focused, but again, look at this. Big kiting potential, toots his Warhorn. He's having a good time up here. He loves it. Thinking about going back in at this stage. Taking very heavy pressure, but has his heal skill up in a couple of seconds. And with that, full endurance back, he is completely fine. 427 points. Tempest has been eliminated there, unfortunately, for the
Just
wonderful
like
Red
that,
team.
Blue team takes a capture point.
Nimbus Cloak in trouble. Might be able to get 6 HP. 6 HP. Oh, nearly managed to last the you basically what you might think. Why didn't he go through the portal? There's a cooldown on it. He came out, couldn't go back in just yet. Was trying to hold on until he could take that port to get the wriggle away, but not quite able to do it. Draw into the downstate. And that is going to be another. They're going to go for the res. They actually are going to get that too. There's not a lot of cleave available here for blue. Only 2 players. They managed to make that happen, but the game is pretty damn over, as you can see there. 491 points. 95. 97. 99. 500. And that's that. So it's going to be, well, I mean, look. It's going to be Worms in the finals, I believe. And they're going to be facing either Sugar Crush or 55. Let's see how that one's going to go. Could be, again, this is entirely possible. This could be a competitive match. I really do believe that. Sugar Crush has been performing very well. In fact, it's the only team to defeat the Worms. No other team has defeated the Worms in this tournament so far. GG. And here we are, 55 on the red team. One Dodge Man, a.k.a. Misha, a.k.a. the Master of Disaster. Boyce, also known, in fact, known by his true name, the God of Slayers. A classic Boyce Ranger here. Driven mad by the nerfs, he has descended to this, this creature. It's going to be the Condi Soul Beast build. Intestable Draza. Here he is. Rev number 1, Abindo. Rev number 2, and Cindernet on the Spectre. And we do have the Condis here. It's a conditioned setup here. And I think that does actually make some sense, because these Revs, the thing that can kill them are the condition-oriented builds. So we almost see a certain level of similarity here to the approach of blue. The big difference is that 55 is still going with this support. Right? Like, that's the difference here. They're running with this support approach. We are in the semifinals. The winner of this round will be going to the finals. Anyway, 10 seconds on the clock, and content will begin. Prepare yourselves. Be an interesting match.
The match starts soon.
The Blue Warrior build? No, I can't. It's not possible. Who's Juno again? It's Lisa. We have Erisic, Lisa, Fake Oki, Cookie Queen, Floor, and Maya. Okay. Yeah, Sin Zero Shroud. GG.
Hold on to your points. Seize
Alrighty then. Let's see. 55. Showing some uncharacteristic vulnerability this tournament. Let's see if they can make it happen. Boyce going straight for the far node. This is how you can know this man plays a lot of ranked Guild Wars 2 PvP. Far at any cost. Alongside Cinder, I want to plonk down Boyce on this node. And I think Boyce can be a big problem here. He absolutely can, because the revs are going to struggle into him, I think. Might have to just go ahead and match it, just like have the clean mirror match up there, with, of course, the exact same build being played here by Uncle Okina. So far, skirmish is kind of happening. We have a Bindo fighting Floor for the 1v1 here on the middle node. And of course, we have Draza into the 1v1 into the Condi Soul Beast. Condi Soul Beast, I think a little bit scary, but of course Draza is quite the 1v1 player, so maybe he can make something work here. He's going to have to be very, very careful, though. If these conditions do get applied, things do get pretty damn scary. Doesn't have the Condi removal trait either, just has the additional sustain there with Shining Aspect. And you can see, yeah, Herald is having a bit of a rough one there, especially with the +1 now coming in from Erisic. We have the Facet of Light being popped, but I think Draza's still in a lot of trouble here. I'm pretty sure he's dead here. The conditions are still ticking. 5,000. Oh, but Misha actually arrives right at the last second there. Big save here from Misha. Gets the resustain, saves the teammate. Good rotation there by the support. Restabilizing that fight quite nicely. Abindo, having a bit of difficulty here. Gets shoved away there by the warrior. Does have Glint Heal still available, but ooh, more reinforcements coming in. But ooh, Misha's on top of it. Misha is on top of it. He is where he needs to be. Resustaining the Revenant there before kind of looking for his next target, and I think that is gonna be a big part of this game. It's like Misha needs to be on top of the rotations and be in the right place at the right time, and it's almost like blue team need to outmaneuver him, right? They need to be at one step ahead of Misha. Combine that, lands the CC, gets the kill onto Floor there as well, so that's actually pretty big. Sugar Crush though does have a node of their own on point C. Again, like this Soul Beast delivering value, kind of handling Draza pretty well, I'd say. Meanwhile, the other side, what's going on over here? We have Boyce and Misha trying to establish control over point A. Of course, Abindo will be doing that on point B. We'll probably just have to match Floor again. Yeah, Floor is simply going to march back to middle after giving, kind of getting killed there. Now, I think Floor can decap this, which I think is the interesting thing. So let's see if how that one actually goes. But yeah, Draza does get picked up again. No, Misha to save. He's like face planted. Look at that. He's like plonked onto the ground. He's like giving up hope. Boyce. Gaming hit. Alongside Syndra doing pretty damn well on this 2v2. Looks like they are maybe going to be able to actually get that kill onto Maya. Ooh, Maya with some really good movement there. But actually right back into the claws of Boyce. Trying to kite as best as possible. 1k HP. Does have stealth. I think has the heal skill too. Yeah, you can see there. Saw the cooldown was low before entering, tried its back now, but is forced to rotate away. Yeah, and you can see this node was slowly getting decapped there by Floor. Erisic now moving into the mix as well. Maya very low, contesting the hammer. Is there a response from 55? There actually isn't just yet. Okay. Now it's going to be Draza. That might be a little bit tricky for the Thief, but again, Condi Spectre can actually pressure that Herald pretty well. It's just like standing on the node is the issue for the Thief, right? But we actually now have the... Oh, look! 16 poison! Is Draza just dead here? 22 poison! Sin comes in. Oh, a bit of a life-saving barrier there from the Thief. That brutal burst from the Soul Beast. Even Draza wasn't able to see that one coming. Oh, the blue Soul Beast, though. Oh, pushes it too far. Greeds, goes in, gets nuked from orbit. Big win for 55 there. Look, the bee is lethal, guys. The bee is dangerous. Erisic in trouble as well. Infused Light about to activate. Erisic actually gets killed by the hammer. You honestly hate to see that, guys. He was on the jump pad and the hammer, like, walloped him right as he landed. I mean, that's just unfortunate stuff. It really is. Yeah. I mean, you hate to see that. It's a little bit unlucky, I'm not gonna lie, guys. That's rough. Anyway, 55, 55 now with the triple cap. Yeah. Triple cap now secured. Boyce activating. Ooh, gets immobilized there by the Rev stuff. Oh, Misha with an epic save yet again. Barriers up Boyce. Instantly resustains him. Saves the day. 55. They're back, guys. They're angry. They're hungry for the victory. They're not messing around anymore. The Master of Disaster. He is cooking. He's cooking this game. He wants victory. He's equipped the crown. He's shown who's boss. He's got that crown activated. He is the one dodge man. He just dodged there to prove it. Floor 10% HP. Can't directly contest a Bindo right now. Oh, no. Oh my god, he nearly died to falling damage. That would have been another clippable moment in the same game. Trying to get rid of this Rev. Lands a combo burst. Nearly kills a Bindo. With that turnaround. Wants to make it happen. Can he actually find this kill onto a Bindo? He can! That was actually pretty well done by Floor, I'm not going to lie. Very well done, in fact. Masterfully kind of outmaneuvering the opponent. Playing it cool on low hit points and reversing it into a big burst. Floor. Rank 1 in PvP. And that's that. The thing is that even after some pretty sweet maneuvers, 55 still ahead. Still pretty damn far ahead. Okay. Hammer now up again. Can Sugar Crush start to get back into this game? They haven't been able to kill Boyce. Boyce has been the roadblock, the brick wall, holding down point A. He loves the far node. He's on the far node. Gets a big heal onto Syndrome there with his Fern Wolf. Fern Dog. And here we go. Intestable, kiting away. Does have Glint Heal, so he's fine for now. Sugar Crush looking to get point B, but actually they lose it, unfortunately, as Boyce runs onto it. Big fight going on the hammer. But now, here's the issue, right? That is where you see the support. Honestly, support has been massive value for 55, right? Like, that has been huge value. Saving so many people from death, and now anchoring that team fight down. There's no way Blue can team fight into this. Not with the Master of Disaster inside this fight. No way. No way. Misha breaking out.
Skyhammer calibrated to red.
And that really is that.
Team grabbed a capture point.
300 points to 100. And I don't see much of a way back into this game at this point.
Red team wins a capture
55 showing they still got it. And to be honest, you can... I really think the player who's really showed his value here is Misha in this game. Like, I'm not going to lie, guys. You know, we've been saying, you know, Zealith 1v9, Riken 1v9, but this is Misha 1v9. I think he was carrying this game hard, to be honest. I really do.
Red team wins a capture point.
This is how impactful a support can be. And not just in the team fights, right? Like, saving so many people from death, setting up a lot of kills in this game. The Master of Disaster, Misha, 1v9.
Cores installed. Charging the laser.
Very much so. Back into the mix, stabilizes a Bindo. Doesn't quite make the contest, but that's whatever. Doesn't really matter that much. Takes heavy fire, holds the node. Boyce rotating into middle. Do have, I think, Draza. Yeah, Draza getting beaten down a little bit, but yeah, Sin here for the support. Have to hold a 2v3, but I think they're actually fine with that. They've got the jump pads. Draza might just back off a little bit. Sin can obviously disengage quite easily there with the Thief.
Cannon operational. Ready for targeting coordinates.
Yeah, 400 points.
Red team wins a capture point.
And I think this is the end. Sugar Crush, a very powerful team. But unfortunately, 55 are going to be their end in this tournament. But it's cool to see. You know, one of the more stable teams as well, right? They don't have new members. They're consistently playing together. Consistently juicing. They've got a little bit of a way to go yet if they want to actually win with this roster. Boyce. Continuing this 1v1. It's just the mirror match here. Big 1v1, guys. Boyce versus Cookie Queen. And so far, Boyce is doing a very good job on it. Chasing down this player, looks for this kill. Griffin stance activated. Gets a big stun into the back poison burst. Wants to land the immobilize. Doesn't quite get it, but yeah, Boyce performing very well in the 1v1. Does have bear stance up. Has a lot of combos on him for now, but bear stance in a couple of seconds. And of course, the Fernhound providing powerful support at the same time too. Holding on to this node. That is what he's doing. He's doing a good job of it as well. And the game will be ending in a couple of moments. It's going to be 55 versus the French Worms in the grand final. That is a tale as old as time, guys. The ultimate matchup on EU. French Worms versus rank 55 Dragons in the grand finals of the monthly AT. It's going to be a spicy one. 55, they've kind of had an opportunity to think about how they're going to play this for a long time. They're going to be thinking, how do we handle that comp, that bunker approach? Are they going to have anything else to do? Are the Worms going to have any surprises for us? It's going to be interesting to see. Wait, what happened, Mice? Yeah. Vague 1v9 in the chat now as well. Rank 1 legend. Floor and Vague, both rank 1 at the same time. Very impressive. Who's the 5 French players? Well, you're about to find out in the grand final of the monthly AT. It is Worms Reborn versus 55. Solid 1v9. Zeolith 1v9. Like, it's spreading, guys. They are all 1v9. Vivian Dog depleted to the same mission 3x today? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait. Oh, are they doing, like, hard mode stuff, Jester? They're doing, like, hard mode? Like, the Protector or whatever it is? Or, like, whatever, Guardian or some shit? For Guam? Alright. I'm doing a prediction, guys. Okay. Who wins? Rank 55, Worms Reborn. You guys have 2 minutes to vote. Prepare yourselves. We love to see it. All right. Will the game begin? Not yet. 31k on Worms. Impressive. Impressive. So far, it's close. It is close currently. Fairly even. People now favoring 55, though. Ooh, big bets going into 55 now. Big bets. 500k on 55. Only 200k on Worms Reborn. So maybe people doubting a little bit. A little bit of doubt on the French. Let me in. I put all into Worms. Impressive. Esprit is all in on Worms. They're going all in. They're going fully all in. Okay. Narsen is also all in on Worms. And it could be a big payoff. 600k on Worms, 1.2 million on 55. $55 gonna cook the Worms. No challenge too big, no enemy too strong. It's already over before it starts. Okay. I played Monk in a hard mode dungeon with Emissary. Now I wish my HC dude was Monk. And it would be good. Well, you could reroll, Mice. Like, it doesn't take long to level, right? We could, we could easily get you back there if you want to play a Monk. USA just won NA monthly, 500, 220. Yeah, that's not super surprising. Not super surprising. Yeah, you could re-roll in factions if you wanted to. Although, then we probably don't need a second monk. What would be the best re-roll for you to go in factions? It's probably... Actually, well... It would probably be like Mesmer or something, to be honest. Because it's going to be... We're going to have Monk Ritualist supports, right? Monk Ritualist healing in factions. So we want Mesmers, really. We need Mesmers. Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, we still need the BIP actually. Yeah, that's true. We do still need a Necro for the battery. So you are jailed. You are completely jailed. Also, shout out to YouTube chat, and also send over all of your gold for Motor, guys. We have 61k gold for Master of the Arena. How epic is that? Is Glint Azaz? I have no idea, actually. I do not know. Is Gilwasu still healthy and popular? In PvE, yes. PvP is a little dead, but you know what? Look, we still have fun. Yeah. Imagine going to factions and straight back to pre after of Azuna. I mean, look, look, it's gonna be scary, man. Like that, it's factions is not gonna be a joke. Like, until you get the full Ritualist prot setup, whew, it ain't gonna be pretty. That's for sure. Double damage bosses are not nice. Let me in. Okay. Ooh, good classic map to finish it on. Do like to see that. Okay. So, let's see what the approach is going to be. Narrow the raid. Appreciate that, my friend. Team USA winning the monthly AT. Look, now all I've got to do is recruit the 2 NA finalists to play Motor. Yeah, there we go. Then we've got a full tournament. We got, look, if we get all the teams from EU and NA to play in Motor, that's 8 teams, guys. Huge. That'd be like the the most teams ever. Log in. But anyway, on the red team, it's going to be Syndrana on the Condi Spectre. Here it is. He is the Blight. He's Greer, relic of the Blightbringer. Abindo on the Power Herald, of course. We have the Catalyst from Draza. Still a very popular build, very tanky. Has a lot of damage on it as well, as you can see here. We have Zan #1 Simp, another Soul Beast, being played by Boyce. Condition build, of course. And of course... Oh, wait, he's actually Berserker right now. Wait. Hold on. He is big DPS. I think is he going to swap, though? Okay. Wait.
Hold on to your
Very interesting approach here. Power Soul Beast. Going to be in play. Ah, yeah, there we go. We do actually have the maces now coming into play. And then, of course, we have Misha on support Chrono. Then we have Rev #1, Glint on the Renegade, Nimbus Cloak. And Riken fully activated here on another Herald. And of course, Half-Eaten Toast. For some reason, relogging off GS Bow, only to play the exact same build, I believe. On the Warrior here. Demolisher, Amulet, Ruin of the Dolyak, and Relic of the Rivers. But yeah, what is this build that Boyce is playing? He is playing Power Mace Short Bow. Very interesting approach here, actually. Utilizing Wilderness Valve for the poison application, I assume, to reduce healing. right? Reducing the healing coming through. And of course, having some damage reduction and some damage increases on survivalists and more tankiness just from survivalists. And then skirmishing for that massive DPS from Vicious Quarry. So this does seem to be like a build that is aimed at destroying something like this warrior, if you think about it, right? It's going to apply a bunch of poison and do a load of damage at the same time to try and break through the defenses. And it's working. Boyce is going to find that 1v1 immediately. Yeah. So I think this is almost like a tailored build to try and eliminate this bunker style. And it's working. We actually have more kills coming through as well. Glyn also dead. 55 have found the cook they need to defeat the bunker meta. Guys, Worm's bunker meta is over. Rip the bunker meta, guys. 26th of April, 2025 through to 26th of April, 2025. It lived, it burned bright. It's 500-0. I'm sorry, guys. If you're look, I genuinely feel bad if you're a Ranger main right now, guys. I really, really do. Ranger gets nerfed 17 patches in a row. Boyce finds another cook, devastates the bunker meta in 2 seconds. And this build will be nerfed next patch. Trig will bring the hammer down. CMC will snap this build in half. I'm sorry, guys. It's over. It's game over. No Boyce, no win. And there is no Boyce on the blue team. Therefore, they are not going to be able to win. Magnetic shield being deployed from the Catalyst. Thief trying to cap middle here. Nimbus Cloak. It's not going to be a 500-0. There's no player from red to contest middle, so there is that. The Worms are saved from that terrible, dire fate. Boyce secures another kill into half-eaten toast.
Like that, blue team takes a capture
Hammer
point.
Catalyst being activated here by Draza. Indethronable. He's going to stand here with his hammer. Get the cap. Sind reinforcing just to kind of guarantee that it is going to be captured. Drops down a trap there as well to help Draza with that 1v1. Pops the trap. Instantly condies him up. Goku re-rolling. Emergency re-roll coming through. GS Bow is now back. GS Bow returns.
Did you see that? Red team got a capture point.
Let's see if this reroll is going to do anything. But to be honest, it's looking tough. It's looking very tough indeed, guys. Abindo activating. Securing that kill. Riken down. Misha, the Master of Disaster, also in play to stabilize that fight more so, even if it needed any more, but it really doesn't. Now, we do have a kill onto Draza. So, okay. You know, let's just pretend this game just started. Right, let's pretend it was just, we're in a fresh game right now. The reroll from Abindo's happened. Well, there must be a slight difference in the build, yeah, that he rerolled to. It's supposed to be very similar, though. Maybe different utility skills or something. We have a kill there onto kill 2. And let's see if blue team can step up and get to work. $55 looking good. Another rev down for blue, and well, I mean, this is just a little bit disappointing, really, isn't it? Like, I mean, 55 are going for the beast. They've actually got enough time in this game to go for the beast. It's over. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Sorry, guys. Finals are over. No Esprit, no win. I'm sorry, guys. If you went all in on Worms, this is going to be expensive for you. It's game over. The Worms are... It's over. I'm sorry, but this is what's happening in this game right now, guys. For those who don't know, this is a seagull tapping its feet onto the ground. Do you know what this does? It kind of makes the worms think that there's rain happening, and the worms burrow up out of the ground, allowing the seagulls to eat them. And that's what's happening here, man. That's what this is. That is what this game is. Look at him go. This is Misha. Look, that, yep, boom. He got a worm. Then maybe this is Sind over here as well,
Just
getting a
like
worm.
that, blue team takes a capture point.
Tapping their little feet. Look at him go. Boom, another worm secured. I might as well just play it instead of the game. I don't need to show the gameplay. It's, yeah. It's this YouTube video. Seagull dance. Tapping for worms on the Isle of Wight. Ah, very nice. Yeah, as you can see here, this is just, it's over. It's complete demolition. Yeah. It's demolition. GS Bow down. Maybe if he was running GS Bow, he'd be able to win. But he doesn't have GS. Glint dead. Rev over here, trying to make something happen, but he's got 2 HP. The Soul Beast is...
Red team wins a capture point.
Dude, the forbidden build has been saved for this very moment. Boys with the double maces. Pummeling this Rev into the ground. Boom. Big DPS comes through, it connects, and that... Oh, is a kill! Oh, wow! Try to evade, but nope. That's it. Boyce finds it. No Boyce, no win, man. 400 points to 48. Worms on the ground. Riken falls. Glint trying to get something done on Draza. But yeah, these Hammer Catalyst builds are so tanky, right? It's so hard to get through that. They can't kill him. He's too durable. Because, of course, you got the final shielding, got the block up time, massive sustain from the Hammer, huge defensive potential, and re-sustain potential from, you know, the Arcane trait and just the Catalyst in general, really. Earth Shield, Armor of Earth, Arcane Shield. So hard to break through this. And they're not able to do it. Taking a bit of damage now. They are 3v2, but again, they're in the hold the point until the game ends mode, right? Like, they die here, but who cares? Misha and Draza in the downside at the end of the game, but it's over. 500 to 48. Game over.